Well, good morning everybody and welcome back to another video. You find me in my local forest and I couldn't have come out on a more boring, drab, grey morning imaginable. There is no break in the clouds at all, there's no contrast, there's no texture in the clouds at all, there's nothing. The weather app got it wrong. It said it was going to be raining for most of the early morning part, and while there's a little shout, a little bit of spit or a little bit of drizzle, it's hardly anything. Maybe that will change, I don't know. It's only 10 to 7, so it's still officially I think about 10 or 15 minutes before sunrise, but I'm not quite sure when we'd even know. Oh, let me take this hat off. Oh, that's better. I'm not even sure when we'd know when it's sunrise because you can't see the sun. It's nothing. Thick cloud. I'll come to this spot here where I've been before, just sort of walk and hoping for some mist that sometimes settles in this little dip here, but there's nothing. I kind of knew this might happen when I looked at the forecast, but I hadn't been out all week and haven't got a video for Monday, so this is it. But the plus side is, looking on the positive side, we don't need to worry so much about once the sun is up, all that good light is gone, because it's going to be cloudy, it's going to be dull for most of the day, so I can stay out a little bit longer. Hopefully this drizzle will pass, and then might find some compositions that don't need sunshine, don't need perfect lighting. So some trees in the forest, maybe the start of autumn, some golden bracken here and there. So I'm going to wander around. And see what I can find. And I don't know if you can see behind me, but everywhere there's these, not everywhere, but there's a lot of these sort of silver birch type white trunked trees. There's some over here, some over here. So that in a dark forest might look quite good, but we shall see. So go for a walk, see what we can find. Okay, sorry about the bright light behind me, but I didn't get very far. And I've walked past this loads of times in the past with family walks and stuff, and I've just seen this sort of, I don't know if you can see it, but there's this sweeping sort of band of grass sort of twisting out to a little pond that's down there that we can't really see from here. And then behind that is a clump of trees that, I don't know, clutching at straws, but put a longer lens on and we never know. So let's have a look. The weather's rubbish. We've got a bit of shade here, so let's spend 10 minutes here, see what we can do. So I have purchased myself an L bracket. The only problem with having the L bracket is, let me show you. If you want to use the screen to compose at an angle, so we're going to flick it round. Yeah, it's very hard or impossible. So yeah, we've got this, like I say, I've just touched the screen. Got this little band here. I know the focus is a bit dodgy, but going out to these trees over here, a little bit missing the background. I think I may put a filter on just to try and kill the sky a little bit, but I haven't got the exposure set up right, so let's do that and then see how we get on. So we've got 6 of the second f9, ISO 100. I am after the shot. 2 second timer, just going to make sure that the sky is not blown out. Have I got highlights on? This histogram looks good. That is great. So none of the sky is blown out. The foreground looks good. F9 has given it a nice depth of field. Yeah, I mean, it's first shot with the lighting that I've got and the conditions, that will do for a starter. Let's move on. Okay. Oh, you can't see me, can you? Oh, I hope that's level. Okay, so I've seen one image here that is a tree, one of those trunks, and I don't know. It's going to be handheld. And I want to get closer, but I refuse to trample over this. I refuse to go off track, basically. So I'm shooting from here. I'm going to have to do it using the screen, totally unorthodox, but we're even going to go into manual focus, autofocus for this one. Going to do what we're going to be on 105, so I'm going to do about 80th of a second, drop it down to f7, but that does mean the ISO is going to have to come up to about there. What's the ISO 800? The R5 can handle it. There's stuff in the way. What's in the way? There's a tree there that's distracting. I'm not sure that I like it. I'm going to take another one while I'm down here, but and I will put it on the screen. Yeah, I mean, mediocre at best. Now, I have been to this pond. Oh my god, look at the state of my lens. I have been to this pond many times before. Taken the odd good picture. Here's one from a previous shoot, not today. There's not a photo here today, it's too windy. There's the ripples on the water. The only way we're going to sort that out is a slow shutter speed. but the wind is blowing the reeds and the grass everywhere. So there's not a picture here today, but I have just seen in here, and I'll try and get you a snippet, some mushrooms. And I went out in the garden last week and took some photos of the mushrooms. Here's one of those. So that's reminded me, let's get some detail. Let's go up here. I'm going to go into this wood area over here where I know it's hilly, so it's going to be a puffy walk for me, but I'm hoping that we might be able to find some detail, even if it's some more views across here or some New Forest colours, you know, some nice golden autumn colours. So yeah, but here today, no, not today.
So yes, perhaps against my better judgment, I'm leaving this area. I'm certain there's an image here, but maybe not with this wind and this light. So when it's a calmer morning, I will definitely be back.
Right, at last I found something that is slightly interesting. Can you see this tree here? Nothing particularly special other than the fact that it has this branch, which you probably can't see here. Which way do I need to go? That way. Reaching out and just wrapping itself all the way around it as it goes up. And the other end of this branch is attached to a tree, I think, over there. So it's almost like it's, I don't know, reaching out, it's trying to pull it back, basically. I'm not going to be able to get the whole thing in because there's so much undergrowth and so many holly leaves and stuff in here that you won't be able to see through it, and if I tried it would just be a mess. So I'm just going to do a square composition, I think a square crop, and I'm going to make sure that I can't get my hand in the right place, this branch here and that bit up there. So it's going to take me a while to set it up because I've got to move around a bit. I've already walked around it to see if it's worth doing. I'm going to walk around it a little bit more, but it's just really interesting the way it all sort of wraps around each other. So there is a better view of this branch here from the other side of the tree, i.e. over there, so the opposite side of where I am now, but you just don't get all of this. There's not as much of that. And I think that really is what makes the picture, the way that it's sort of just wrapping around it. So yeah, I'm going to get set up, I'm going to frame it up, and I'll be right back to you. Right, don't be alarmed. It was a broken branch that had fallen down off the tree. I'm not snapping branches off, I promise. Battery's about to run out. Battery change time, back in a minute. Okay, so the other thing I was going to do is try and move all these holly branches, just sort of bend them back a little bit with the umbrella, 10-second timer, take the photo, and then let them come back to where they were. But I'm not going to do that. The reason I'm not going to do that is because to get them out of the way, I'd have to bend them quite a lot. And I'm worried that, you can't even see my face, man. And I'm worried that I'm going to snap them. So I'm not even going to risk it. I'm going to embrace it. I'm going to take the photo. I think I am going to move some of it. No. I think I can get away with it. So let me zoom you in a bit so you can see me a bit closer. Okay, so I have done f4, which is as low as this lens go, because I want to get the tree in focus but blur as much of everything else as possible because it's all about that tree. ISO 100, which gives me a 1/6 of a second. I'm just actually going to put on a circular polarizer because there's a lot of shininess on these holly branches. So circular polarizer is on. It's made a massive difference to those leaves. But what has occurred to me is the fact that we are shooting on 1/6 of a second, and those holly branches are getting caught in the wind. So I need to take this shot when there's 0 wind, and hopefully that could be now. Actually, let's do one quickly. I'm thinking I may have to go up with the ISO a bit. Okay, so I've gone up to, what am I on? 30th of a second, 800 ISO. I'm still going to wait for the wind to die because it's really, really important that these are not blurry. Some of them are blurred anyway because of the depth of field, but there's a couple that are closer in line with the tree that aren't, and I want to make sure that there's no motion blur. I'd rather than be in focus, I think, than motion blur. So I'm just going to wait. The thing is, judging it with a 2-second timer. I should have brought out my remote. 30th of a second, do I need to? Let's have a look. Really happy with this one, the best one of today in my opinion. It's not nothing spectacular, but it's something that I've seen, it's something that stood out to me, and it's something a little bit different to what I've taken before. So hope you enjoy it. Here it is on the screen.
So one of the things I do want to do is take a wide scene and then go in and take some tighter, smaller details, and that's what I've done here. I've just got that first photo that you saw me take there, and I've just gone in and got some close-ups of some interesting parts of the scene. So hope you enjoy it. Let's move on.
Didn't get very far down the path. I'm not going to set up tripods and everything for this. It's going to be a quick handheld shot of these 2 trees here, and they're kind of twisting, sort of overlapping each other as if they're sort of dancing up to the sky. So it's probably going to be a square crop again, or slightly portrait, because there's nothing either side of it. It's all in the where are we? It's all in the sort of the twisting of it here. So anyway, let's recenter my focus. Here it is on the screen. Going to carry on walking. I think we're heading back to the car now. I've been here a few hours, so it's been a good morning. Let me show you this photo first. Right, it turns out I did get the tripod out. Oh my god, the camera's filthy. Oh, what did I just put my camera down in? Oh, stupid idiot. So it turns out I did get the tripod out. The reason being is because I didn't film any of it though. I had to shoot it at 15th of a second to keep 100 ISO, and I also wanted to manual focus because of all the moss and everything on the tree. When I took one handheld, I didn't look in focus, so I got the tripod out, didn't film any of it. Here it is on the screen. Now we're going to continue. At what point do I draw the line? I mean, I've just walked 100, not even 100 yards, 20 yards from where I was just talking to you a minute ago. And look, just oh, I'm gonna drop my camera. Just the detail. I've got my macro lens in the bag. I'm gonna come back to this spot. It's nearly 9 o'clock now. I could be here all day. I'm so lucky to live near somewhere like this. Doing what I've started to do, living near the New Forest. There's no massive field mountains or lakes, or you can't hike a mountain and look for a mile over cloud covered mountain tops. But you get into the forest, you get into the undergrowth, And it's just amazing. It's just amazing. You just don't notice it normally, but next time there'll be more videos. There'll be more videos. I nearly made it back to the car park. Now the eagle-eyed amongst you must realise that I'm using 2 tripods. I'm telling you this because one, I'm going to do a video on that in a couple of days, hopefully, certainly in the next couple of weeks. But the second reason I'm telling you is that one of them cannot get really low to the floor, and I've got a photo here that I want to get, and I need to get really low to the floor. So I'm going to swap cameras, and I'm going to use this tripod, which isn't as good, I don't think, for landscape, but it's great for video because it doesn't have to be super solid or anything like that, and it doesn't have to go as high as that one and things like that. But it does go lower to the floor than that one, so there is a payoff there. But anyway, that'll all be covered in another video. But now I've just found a couple of mushrooms in this heather or moss or whatever it is, and I want to get it at eye level, even though as far as I'm aware mushrooms don't have eyes, but you know what I mean. I want to get it on the same level as the mushrooms, so it means I'm going to get really low to the ground. So I'm going to set that up now, stop videoing because there's people coming, and I hate videoing while there's people walking past. I don't mind photographing so much, but videoing, talking, nah. So let's get set up for this video, and I'll show you the setup as soon as I've done it. I couldn't use the tripod that I wanted to use, so I had to go upside down with this tripod here upside down, so really hard to set the controls up, really hard to focus and everything. Mushrooms just here. First time I've tried anything like this apart from messing around in the back garden, so it may work out, it may not. I'll show you a close-up of the setup in a minute. Let me do it now. And here's the final image. Oh, wow. Can you still hear me? Hopefully you can still hear me. That was a thoroughly enjoyable 3.5 hours. My van is a mess. I feel like I'm a mess. I'm going to go home now, have a shower, have some breakfast, have my cup of tea first that I made at 5 o'clock, 5:30. Yeah, it started off slowly, I must admit. I wasn't too excited about the first couple of photos, but once I got into the forest itself and out of that open space, it was... Someone just got to have a car next to me. Have they gone? Have they gone? Yes, they've gone. Once I got into the forest and started to see the tree formations and the couple of photos that I took of trees and branches and things, I really started to open my eyes to things that I could find in the forest. So I was looking, I'll be honest with you, I was ready to go home at that point, but I could have stayed there all day, or I could have stayed here all day because I'm still here. I'm glad I didn't though, because it's now raining again, so that was pretty good timing. But on the walk back to the car, obviously I've got those mushrooms that you've already seen, but I just noticed lots of different things to explore next time I'm here. First of all, we saw the moss that was on that tree. Getting a macro lens on that and getting some detail in that would have been great. The fallen down tree, getting some compositions out of that. It was just worn and, you know, broken and twisted and stuff, and I reckon there's a few compositions there. The other two trees I quickly saw that looked like tuning forks. They sort of just went up like that and then like that. Probably other branches in the way to stop taking a photo of that, but yeah, and there's things with the moss on the floor, the ridges going out. I'm sure there was other ones that I saw as well as I was wandering around, but this is like literally so close to my house where I am in this part of the forest. So even on a grey day at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I will be coming back here, travelling a bit lighter, maybe just bring 2 lenses. Today I brought 4 and I only used 2, so I'll probably bring definitely a macro lens, because there's so much exploring to do around the moss and everything on the trunks, and mushrooms and slugs if you're into that kind of thing, which I'm not really, but it might make quite a nice picture. So yeah, it's been good. So hopefully you enjoyed it. If you made it this far, you must have done either that or you're bored senseless and have nothing else to do. But thank you for making it this far. I've no idea how long this video is going to be. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.